Welcome back to another episode of Silent Pals Go to the Movies. Today I will be reviewing the movie Missing. So just a fair warning, there's going to be spoilers up ahead, so you've been warned. After her mother goes missing, a young woman tries to find her from home using the tools available to her online. So let's begin with my first pro. This is a movie that is in the same universe and follows right after the events of Searching. The concept is the same. A crime is being solved using social media and technology, and the audience are looking through the computer screen at the main character. So the same premise, but they do try to poke fun of having the case from Searching being made into a docu-series on a streaming service, and the main protagonist of the movie is also watching this series and is also looking up pages to find the difference between the real case and the documentary series. And at the end, she is seen watching her own episode, and her friend does make the joke or comment that the series did not include Javi, the guy who helped her through most of the part of the movie all the way from Colombia. Still, it was an entertaining movie to watch, and I did not regret going to see it. Next point is the limited number of casts of this movie versus Searching. So in Searching, there was more cast that were there involved and people who came in and out of the movie. In Missing, we have just a handful of individuals that we are presented with and that we have to follow. And this makes it way easier to follow, but at the same time, it is a mistake. And I will talk about this later on. But the cast, they did what they were supposed to, which was either play a distant child from the parent or the person that you think is the guy who did it because the way he is portrayed, and later you change your mind and then you focus on somebody else. But what was great was how they did cast a big doubt about the mother halfway through the movie and made you suspect that she was kind of behind this at one point or another. And then you get the big reveal at the end. Next is the style, because we have seen the movie Unfriend or other types of movies that use social media and the point of view from the computer screen, but they all end up short. And I do believe that this movie, along with Searching, cracked the formula, and they have different elements that work for them together. They have the tech side, and then they have the human aspect that makes us invested in the characters, and also the mystery side where we are sent off with the main character to solve the mysteries. And then, like it or not, when we are close to the end, we want that twist where we know who the person responsible for is, but then boom, we want to be hit with that twist, and then we are left with our mouths wide open, and then suddenly the movie explains the things that we missed. So these things put together are what makes this an interesting movie to watch, and I guess a series. And now I move on to my cons. So I talked about the limited cast and the idea that it is a flaw. So since you have less people, that means you have less suspects on the board, and also you know the first person that seems like the obvious guilty party will be the red herring, so you can omit that person. Then you are looking for the odd person that seems to be there for no good reason, and it turns out to be Jimmy the church guy. I noticed him since when June spoke to him. I felt that he was one to keep my eye on, and also the emails about the camera system kept coming up, but I did not link it to the church guy, but I knew that was a key element. So since I knew that it was not Kevin, the boyfriend obviously, nor Heather, the attorney, or the mom, I really didn't think it was the dad. Even though we never saw him die in the movie, we were led to imply that he had died from a sickness. But when I saw the Uber driver, I was like, wait, doesn't that look like the dad? But then at the same time, I was like, he is dead. So I was kind of misled as well. But if there were more cast, then we would have been led through different paths and have different culprits. That way we could have chased different paths, and at the end, boom, when it turned out to be the dad, then our mouths would be left wide open, but this was not the case. Next con, the idea that you can use social media and other systems to play the game, put the puzzle pieces together, is a possible idea, but to do that at that precise moment when you're looking for things and knowing how to do it and looking where to click and knowing all these things seems like a far-fetched for me. Plus, wouldn't there be cops taking June into a safer place while her mom is missing or the search is going on? Or wouldn't they be at the house searching for evidence or clues that could possibly lead them to finding her? Seems like they'd be taking all the electronics from the house to have their team search through the hard drives or any information they can find. I didn't see any officers there or actually in the house or even on the screen when we saw June doing her searching online. And for them just to focus on the US Embassy in Colombia with Agent Park, when the US is like, we will wait on this side for you guys do you. Yeah, this seems like a really far-fetched for me, and I couldn't deal with that. Last con, the big secret here was the mother was placed in the witness protection program, but wouldn't there be a protocol in that situation if the main person is gone missing or dead? Wouldn't there be a protocol that would kick into place like, oh, the mother is missing, Agent Heather, go get the daughter, bring her to a safe place, just don't leave her at home by herself? That is kind of illogical. Then when the media people started getting a hold of this case and they started getting involved, wouldn't there be a team behind saying, hey, we need to get the daughter into hiding because we don't know who the person involved would be, and at least try to to track down her dad to make sure it's not him trying to find her, because they are running away from him since the beginning. But I will say this, it was an enjoyable watch, but not as much as Searching was. But I still liked it how they tied both movies together with the docuseries inside the film. So my final grade for this movie is going to be a mid 7.5 out of 10. Little high due to it being a tie-in to the movie Searching. The film was enjoyable and it did have some intense scenes, but also it did have some mistakes. But they somehow still were able to include the articles about the alien invasion in there somehow. For what reason? I don't know, but I think that's the big mystery to this series. So that does it for this review of Missing. Please join us next time where we're going to review Knock at the Cabin.
The four of us are here to prevent the apocalypse. Your family has been chosen to make a horrible decision.
Please like, comment, and subscribe. You can find our social media links below. And like always, keep watching movies.